Well, good evening, everyone. Hey, welcome to Live Lessons. I'm Steve Krenz. We are coming at you live from Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. So thankful that you are here with us on a Tuesday afternoon. We are going to be talking about a couple things. I got a lot of things to talk to you about tonight. The first thing is there's multiple downloads for tonight. The first one is we're going to be talking about one-finger chord moves on guitar. This was a lesson we taught way back when in 2020, and it was just such a foundational lesson. I was reminded again this week of what a foundational lesson it is, so I thought it's a good time for us to kind of cover that again. So the Easy Chord Moves PDF is one of the links in the YouTube description down below. Our wonderful moderator, Diane, has put that in the chat as well. Now, in the second half of the show, we're actually going to be learning the Chris Stapleton song Starting Over. And I had a lesson early this morning with one of my online students, Paul, and he wanted to learn this song. And I took a listen to it, and I thought, oh, well, that's an easy enough song to learn. So I've been trying to kind of do a little bit more songs. So I wrote out the guitar part for that as best as I could figure it out and what I would use in the studio if I was playing with it. And so that is at a separate link for download, and that is in the YouTube description down below too. So you got two things to download tonight, and for the second half of the show, or actually, if you want to grab your guitar right now, that would be great, because you're definitely going to be using it, and you'll be needing a capo tonight. So we've got all kinds of things we're going to be doing tonight. I see some of you are already typing in where you're from and all of that. Jeffrey Gish, good to see you from Norfolk, Virginia. Randy in Dover, New Hampshire. Joan in Inverness, Florida. Good to see you. Good to see you, one and all. Dave from Iowa, welcome. Ben in Salt Lake City, welcome, welcome. Robert from Norton, Ohio. Gary, same old Jackson, Tennessee. He says, well, that's just up the road. Surfer in Florence, Alabama. John in Maineville, Ohio. Tucson, Arizona. John, good to see you. Big Steve in Olympia, Washington. I'm going to be up in Washington in the Spokane area here in a few weeks. Ron in Grantsburg, Illinois. Stephen in Poconos, Pennsylvania. It sounds pretty. Everybody always wants to go to the Poconos. Gary, my good friend in Columbus, Ohio. Joe in Santa Barbara. Kevin in Fort Myers. John in Denver. Man, everybody's here. And I saw someone from Australia. As I think before we got going, I saw the chat going with somebody from Australia. So welcome. And good to see you from Maine. Dennis in Vero Beach, Florida. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, to get us started off with, we're going to be, actually this week on Thursday, we're going to be starting an all-new Guitar Gathering Academy. That's going to be featuring 4 different jazz songs. And I thought one of the questions that we consistently get with those is this going to be too hard for me? Is this going to be too hard for me? So I thought to show you that I try and make it as accessible as possible, I'm going to play the easy arrangement I give you for this week's song, which is On the Sunny Side of the Street, a classic. I give you 3 arrangements, a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and I thought I would play the beginner arrangement for you so you could see how complicated it is and whether you think you could come along with it. Basically, if you know your basic chords and you've can read music and not read a Bach thing, but I mean you understand tab and you know your basic chords and can read some things off the page, then I think you'll do fine. And you grab as much out of it as you want to. So I thought I would play the Sunny Side of the Street. This is the beginner solo arrangement, and I just thought to fill it out, I would add a little bit of a drummer here. So I've got a drum beat going from our the Drum Genius app, which I've talked about multiple times. So this is a Drum Genius app, and he's kind of going at a good little beat. Thought that would help us out here. He's going at 116 beats per minute. And this is the beginning arrangement that, if you signed up for the class, which the link is in the YouTube description down below, this is the beginner solo arrangement. Should I play this with a pick? I'll play with a pick. Play with a pick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's the beginning version of that. Now let me play the kind of the advanced arrangement of it that I know. There you go. There you go. A little bit of on the sunny side of the street, the beginner arrangement and the advanced arrangement. If you're interested in being a part of the Jazz Guitar Gathering Academy that's coming up, starts on Thursday. We'll film it tomorrow, and it will be out in your email boxes by Thursday. So if you haven't signed up, now's your chance. All right, let me switch guitars. And I want you to get out that Easy Chord Moves PDF. So turn that off. So I get my Easy Chord Moves. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a great day here in Nashville. A very sad day. Heard about Dolly Parton passing away this afternoon, and so it's a big deal here in Nashville. They did live programming for about an hour for that. I remember seeing Dolly Parton in the airport one time in Los Angeles. I was playing for something, traveling somewhere. I don't know what it was doing, and she's very small, and so this very small lady is coming by there with two of the biggest guys I have seen in my life on either side of her, and she looked just like Dolly Parton. She looked exactly like, every time you've seen Dolly Parton, that's exactly what she looked like. And she was just traveling on a plane, and I saw her in LAX. So it's very sad news to hear about Dolly passing. What an impact she has had on the United States, but especially here in Tennessee, and especially here in Middle Tennessee and Eastern Tennessee with Dollywood and all that sort of stuff. So it's been huge news here. All right, let's whip out the Easy Chord Moves PDF, and let's go ahead and if you guys ready, if you can, make sure you have your guitar with you. That's going to be a little bit easier for you. Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Thanks for joining us on this quick lesson about easy chord moves. There's a PDF that goes along with this. The link is in the YouTube description down below. These are basically one finger chord moves that you can do you can add to any basic chord that you need to stay on sometimes you'll need to stay on a chord for a long time, and you need just kind of some movement. There's an easy way to do that on guitar using basically one or two fingers. So let's take a look at that PDF. So on page 1 of the PDF, we're going to go through some common chords that you're going to see on guitar and what can we do with them. So basically, here's the idea. If I have a C chord, I can take this C chord and instead of just going, which is cool and all, but if I can add some movement to it, it makes the whole chord come alive. And I can add movement a variety of ways, and a lot of it is just by taking one of my fingers off and on or adjusting the placement of one. So if I'm on this C chord, if I take my second finger off and on, I'm just taking it off and on, just my second finger off and on. And I end up with a wonderful C to a C2 sort of a thing. What if I added my pinky down and I put the pinky down on the fourth string at the 3rd fret? Go from a C to a C sus. I'm just doing one finger. Everything else stays right where it's at. So you can take a normal chord and give it that professional touch by just making some of these moves. So you can go from C to a C2. Maybe I can go from a C to a C suspended. Oh, what else can I do with my second finger? Well, I can move him down maybe to the 3rd string and get a C6. You don't hear that one quite as much. Of a sweeter sound. It's not really, it doesn't really take you anywhere. So that's the one thing about the C6. It's sweet sounding, but it doesn't really add any color to it. So that's one of the lesser used ones. But here's one. Let's see, what if I move my first finger? Instead of moving my second finger, let's add the first finger and let's take him off. So I'm going from like a C to a C major 7, very sweet sounding. Very cool sound. If I go from a C, maybe I could add my pinky down, but this, instead of on the 4th string, maybe I can add him on the 2nd string. Oh, what's one last one? Maybe I could put my pinky down on the 1st string. So between all of those, and I kind of put them in order of usefulness, is the C to C2. That's kind of the one that you're going to hear a lot. C suspended. C6. What if I did the C major 7s? So each one of these has a little bit of a different sound. What if I did the C2? Maybe I did the high G. I could add some little hammer-ons and pull-offs with them. It just gives the chord a little bit of professional sound, and it works great if you're having to do wanting some movement in an otherwise static chord. Take a look at the next one. What if I did it on an A minor? What can I do on that? Well, there's not quite as many choices, but there's a few things I can do. What if I take my third finger off and I go to this A minor 7? Again, adding some wonderful little movement to it. What if I take my second and third finger off? This is a very gets kind of a gritty, growly sort of thing. What if I take my first finger off and on? It's a very open sound, that A2. What's next? Oh, well, if I add my pinky down on the second string at the third fret, I get kind of suspended. What if I did my pinky down on the first string at the third fret? Great little moves. Lots of songs use this. Dust in the Wind comes to mind. Again, just one finger chord moves. It's an easy way to make your chord playing sound more professional. Take a look at page 2. Let's do it on another one. We've done it in C, we've done it on an A minor. What about an A? Is there anything we could do on an A? Well, you bet. If I form my A with my second, third finger, and pinky like that, and I take my pinky off and on, a great little opening pattern for a song, an intro, something like that. Now it takes, as you're starting it takes a lot of, not a lot, but a little bit of coordination that you need to work out with your fingers. So I would just practice this without strumming first and just get used to whatever the individual chord move is. What if I do in the next one, I have the A to the A suspended where I'm sliding that pinky out one fret. So I would just practice that first and then maybe add some strums. Maybe I can do some, let's do some fingerstyle. What if I went to the 2 chord? A little bit of movement. What else can I do? Well, there's not much more of the useful ones, but one thing I can do is if I take my second or take my third and fourth finger off and add my first finger down there, I get kind of a wonderful E with an A in the bass. Pretty sounding progression. What can I do on an A7th? Well, I can take my third finger, if I'm doing my second finger and third finger for an A7th, and I take my third finger off and on. I can do the suspended thing again, where I add my pinky. What is that good for? Well, let's say I'm in the key of D, and I'm going to be seeing a lot of A7ths, which is the 5 chord in the key of D. It just gives a little bit of a professional sound to it. Take a look at the next one. We've done it in C, we've done it in A minor, we've done it in A, we've done it in A7th. What's another common good guitar chord that we're going to come across? The trusty G. Oh my goodness, the G. What can we do on a G? Oh man, there's tons of things we can do on the G. All I'm thinking is can I move a finger either off and on, or one finger that's free to move him on and or off. I can do it on different strings, just whatever I can to make a little bit of movement there. If I do this low one, this G to a G2, that's pretty low. It's going to sound a little growly. Hear that low da-do, da-do, da-do. You see that a lot on maybe some country songs, slow ballads. What if I did I added the 6th, so instead of my second finger on the 5th string, I'm going to add him on the 4th string. As you're trying to learn songs from different players, just realize guitar players are generally not that as creative as you think. And you may hear it and you may think all these notes are moving around, but if you analyze it, more often than not, he's doing a regular chord and just adding some one-finger movements to it. It's a very common thing to do on guitar to get a signature type of sound. What is that third one over there? We've got a G. And now I'm going to add my second finger, not on the 5th, not on the 4th, but on the 3rd string. Oh, here's a good one. What if I added my first finger to the 2nd string and kind of made a sus? We're going to be using that in a song that we're going to learn here in a few minutes. I can even move my second finger down and move both of these together, a C and the E, and I get kind of the bottom half, of a C chord. Very classic move. What else do I have? Oh, I could do, maybe take my pinky off and on. Again, going to the 6th, which is a little sweet sounding, but it doesn't really take us anywhere. So the 6th one is probably the one that you're going to see the least. But all I'm doing is moving the fingers around. So if you find a chord shape that you like, just start moving fingers around and seeing what happens. And you'd be amazed at all the different colors you can pull out of one chord by just starting to move one finger around. Take a look at the next one. We've got D. This is the bottom of page 2. Let's look at kind of the D family. What can we do? Oh, this is a great one. Well, first thing I can do on a D chord, let's see, I can take my first finger off, and I end up with kind of a G major 7th with a D in the bass. Let's hear how that sounds. Kind of gets almost kind of a Celtic sound. What about that next one? What else can I do? Well, if I take my third finger off, you get that 6th. Again, it sounds sweet, but it's not sounding unique. So listen for what does a 2 chord sound like? What does a 6th chord sound like? What a major 7th chord sounds like. Each chord has its own flavor, has its own taste. So instead of just green, you would now have light green and dark green and hunter green, and you have all these variations of this same chord. Oh, we have the next one over. We have a D to a D2. This is a classic. Maybe I can hammer on, pull off. You want to sound professional? Start doing some of these moves instead of just playing a normal straight chord. What's the last one? We've got a D. This one's an easy one. You add your pinky down here on the first string at the 3rd fret, and I get that D sus. Countless songs have started with that little intro there. It's a great move in the key of D. Take a look at page 3. What do we have there? All right, is there anything we can do on D minor? Well, not too much, but let's see what we have. If I have a D minor, regular old D minor, and I take my second finger off, that gets back to that Celtic sort of a sound. What if I take my first finger off and on? What if I add my pinky to the first string at the 3rd fret and I get that suspended again? Learn these. These are great little moves. You know, if I'm in D, you'll often hear me do something like. What is all that? D suspended, pull off to the second finger, to the open, hit the D, hit the A, pull off the G, to the F sharp, and the open D. And I end up with this beautiful flourish. You add a few of those in your playing, and next thing you know, you've got all of this wonderful flourish in otherwise what would be a D chord. What about an E? All right, take a look at E, the E family. The middle, this is the page 3, the middle one. We've got an E, classic. I take my second finger off. The old Willie Nelson sort of a move. Second finger just hammering on. What if I add the pinky to make it an E sus here on the third fifth string? What if I have the E and I take off my third finger and add it to the E seventh, maybe a bluesy sound? Hey, what if I hammer on my first finger? I get even a bluesier sound. And what if I go, well, it even does, that's the next move here. It's not really going to the minor as much as you're just kind of hammering onto it. What about, can we do it with bar chords? You can do it with any chord. Let's try to look at some bar chords. The last line there, we have a B minor. What can we do there? Well, I can take my pinky off and on, and that's going to go from a B minor to a B minor 7. What if I take my second finger off and on? That's going to get it down where I go from a B minor to a B2. Let's hear what that sounds like. Very cool. Hey, here's one. Take all three of these off, and all you're left with is the bar. A classic move. What do we have here? The last one. I go from this one, the B minor 7th, up to a B minor 7th with the high A on that. What is that? The first string at the 5th fret. Let's just kind of mix them all up in there. I end up with all this great movement. All right, flip the page. On this next page, page 4, I just give you some practice running through these different progressions. Like if I did that first line. I'm not going to take you through all of those. In fact, I did a more in-depth lesson of this that I'm going to include in the YouTube description down below, and even a play-along workout where you can play along with me as we go through these different things. So I wanted to just introduce those back to you because it's just such a fundamental skill on guitar is these one-finger chord moves. So have fun messing around with them. Add some life to your playing. Open that sound up. Instead of just playing a static chord, you can add all kinds of... Have fun playing around with them. Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Keep up the great work, and we'll see you next time. Okay, that was the lesson. I wrote as many of them out there as I could think. And I know you can just play through them, but I would encourage you not just to play through them, but to learn them. Learn them. Get them underneath your fingers so that you can get the sounds that you're looking for. So that is something for you to take a look at. Anybody have any questions about that sort of stuff? Everybody's just thinking. You're all thinking so much. Well, while you are thinking, I wanted to let you know we do have the Super Chat going on tonight. We also have PayPal going tonight. If you want to support the work that we do with these free lessons, then consider giving in PayPal or even in Super Chat, and all of that helps keep the lights on here. All right, let me Let me switch guitars for just a second. We've got our Guitar Gathering Academy coming up, so I thought I would play one of the Guitar Gathering Academy songs. This is Embraceable You. We'll see if I haven't really worked out the arrangement here too well on it, so we'll see. We'll arrangements while you wait. This song was written in 1928 by George Gershwin. And actually, even this year, CBS News declared this song. They put out a list of the 250 most influential and essential American songs, and this song, "Embraceable You," which is one of the songs we're going to be covering, was one of the top 250 songs according to CBS News. So it was really quite a well-known song. This is one of the songs we're going to be going over in the Guitar Gathering Academy. Let me see if I can play a little bit of it for you. little bit of Embraceable You. If you're interested, that's gonna be one of the songs we're covering for the Guitar Gathering Academy. So if you're interested, please, the link is in the YouTube description down below. First song goes out in a couple days, so don't hesitate too much. You'll start missing the songs. You know, I was playing that song, I was thinking about, I wish I could say I'm completely into the music and gluing to the music, and sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm just thinking about stuff that I've done. Hey, thank you, Ann, and thank you, IEK32. Look at you guys giving. That's such a blessing. Oh, is that Itzhak? Yeah. Oh, Itzhak. There you go. One of my students there. Thank you, Itzhak. Thank you, Ann. I was thinking about, I used to play with this group, the George K. Quintet in San Antonio. I was the youngest guy in the group by far. I always played it in high school and in my college days probably. And we would play the Elks Lodges and all the VFW halls and things like that. We'd play all these old jazz songs. And so one of the songs that I could just hear the leader of that group, George Carnivus, singing is Embraceable You. We would play that all the time. That was one of the classics that we would play. Anyway, fun. All right. I love music. Music's a blast. You know, I've had so many great experiences playing music. Played in things big and small. I've played in arenas. Played on the other side of the planet. Played it on just about every continent. Yeah, I love music. All right, hey, to whip out let's look at this song, Starting Over, by Chris Stapleton, right here in Nashville. This was released in August 28th of 2020. On the 64th Grammy Awards, it won the Best Country Album. This song debuted at number 3 on the U.S. Billboard chart. It's a song called Starting Over. We're going to play just a little bit of it for you here just to get started off with. Before we do that, this song, the music, I would encourage you to download. The link is in the YouTube description down below. And I'm going to put my capo at the 3rd fret. That's the key. We're going to put our capo at the 3rd fret. And we're going to do some of these things that we were just talking about. All right, so let me get my acoustic mic going here. And so we're going to play a little bit of this video first, and I'll play a little bit of the song. We're not going to play it the whole thing, and then I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. And it's a great song. So let's hear what it sounds like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, there you go. That's the basic idea of this song. We'll play it all together here at the end. I'll let you play through it all together, but let me teach it for you. It's relatively easy. We're going to start in the key of G, and we're going to be with a capo at the 3rd fret. So that's the first key. Nothing too hard about this at all. We've got a G chord, and then look at this. I'm just going to put my first finger down on that C. Okay, and then I'm going to go off and on with that, and then I'm going to go to a C major 7th. Just move your 2nd and 3rd finger down, and then put your first finger back on. You kind of have a little bit of a train beat. I'm just copying that on my strumming. Nice, good, relaxed strumming. So that continues through the verse, the first line and the second line. First line repeats twice, then we get to the verse, the next section there. We do those 4 bars, which sounds just like the intro. And then measure 9, beginning of the 3rd line, we have a D. And then to a D2, just take that 2nd finger off, just to these 1 finger chord moves. C with a high G there. Taking that first finger off, get that C major 7. And then it repeats that verse. Just repeats that measure 9. First finger off. And then in measure 13, you get to the more interesting part of it. We're going to put our pinky and third finger down. Now I'm thinking in G. I'm thinking in G. So it's sounding, because I have the capo with the 3rd fret, it's sounding in B flat. And a lot of music you're going to see online is written in B flat. Well, that's completely unhelpful on guitar, because it's a guitar song and he's thinking of it in G. So he's going to go to this E minor. So we almost have open string, open string, open string, and then... So I'm going to keep these two planted down here and end up with this really cool D with the F sharp, D suspended with an F sharp on the bass, first finger on the what would be 5th fret there, then I'm muting out the 5th string, I have the open 4th string, and then 2nd finger on the 3rd string, and then 3rd and 4th on these, the D and the G here. Just one beat each. And then you have a C2. So these two never move. These two never move. That's all there is. And it repeats that a couple times. Then we go measure 15, 5th line down, D, C, take the first finger off, and then we're back to the next to last line, which is kind of like the intro, basically the intro again. Then we have a DS, which means Dalsenio. So we go back to the sign, the funky looking S with the 2 dots and the slash. That is in the measure 5, the 2nd line of the song. And so we would play through all of that again, both verses, pre-chorus repeats. We get down to that measure 15 line. We do all of that. We do that vamp again. We do all of that again. And then after that second time, we continue on to measure 22, and we end up with this interlude. A minor 7th, normal A minor 7th, E minor, and then G, A minor 7th, D, D2, and then where does it go after that? Well, I just kind of wrote it in there instead of having to, put out another page of this song. I just thought I'd write it in there, and you're going to go back to the pre-chorus, which is at measure 13. You'll do that twice, just with the repeat. Then we're going to do that vamp 3 times, and then we end on a G chord. So if I was in the studio, I wouldn't have something this nice, but this would be really helpful if I ever had this in the studio, because it tells me exactly what to do. So we're going to, thank you, Gary, so much for your kind gift there. We're going to play this track again, and I want you to play with me, okay? As much as you can. Now, you could just go onto YouTube, and I'm sure I'm going to have to cut this off when we redo when I edit this out, because I'm sure Chris Stapleton is not going to want me playing his song, but I'll put the link to it in the YouTube description. So see if you can play this with me. So I'm gonna turn my guitar down just a little bit, and we're gonna have that track up nice and hot, and you try and play with me here. So let's start that again.
1,
2, ready, go. Repeat that intro. First, second line.
Well, the road rolls
Next line.
I ain't got no kind of plan. I've had all this town I can stand.
Repeat back to the second line.
And I got friends out on the coast. We can jump in water and see what flows. We've been saving for a rainy day.
D2.
Let's beat the storm and be on our way.
Pre-chorus. These come fast.
And it don't matter to me wherever we are, where I want.
Kind of a little bit of a backbeat here. Next line.
I can be your lucky penny. You can be my four-leaf clover.
Vamp, just like the intro. DS, back to the second line.
This might not be an easy time. There's a ridge across and hills to climb. Some days we might fall apart, and some nights might feel cold and dark.
Repeat it.
But nobody wins afraid of losing, and the hard roads are the ones worth choosing. Someday we'll look back and smile, and know it was worth every mile.
Pre-chorus.
It don't matter to me wherever we are, where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice.
Next line.
I can be your lucky penny. You can be my four-leaf clover.
Back to the vamp.
Starting over. Starting over.
Now we're going to the interlude. Nothing fancy about it. Back to the pre-chorus, line 4.
It don't matter to me wherever we are, where I wanna be.
Repeat.
And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice.
Next line.
I can be your lucky penny. You can be my four-leaf clover.
Vamp.
Starting over.
We're going to do this 3 times.
Starting over.
This is the vamp, just the vamp changes. We're going to do that vamp changes again. Measure 18. End on a G chord. There you go. Isn't that fun? Starting over. I tell you one thing. One thing I am pretty good at, I'm not good at everything, but one thing I am pretty good at is finding out what a guitar part is in a song. And you'll see a lot of, if you're trying to learn a dumb tune, you know, you go on to, you type it in and chances are some schmuck somewhere has written it out or tabbed it out or whatever. And sometimes that's accurate and sometimes it's not. So it's kind of the Wild West of figuring out what's good or what's not, actually figuring out a guitar part. So this is, from a guitar player's perspective, from a pro here in town, this is exactly what he was playing on that. Hey, thank you, Hans, for giving. Thank you, Kevin, for giving. Look at you guys. It's so sweet that y'all would do that. I appreciate all that. Appreciate everyone that supports and gives us, pours into the work that we do here. It's a blessing. All right. You guys are worried about whether Chris Stapleton is going to sue me. I seriously doubt if Chris Stapleton is even going to realize me. But I also am probably going to have to after tonight, I'll probably have to cut this out of the video for future use. But anyway, you have the music there. And I put the link to the video. If you click the link to the music, it will take you to our site where I have the music down there for you. It's the chord changes, by the way, which are not copyrightable. You can't copyright chord changes. And it has a video of Chris playing it, so you can play along with it. So there you go. There you go. All right, there you go. As we get ready to land this ship, Barb is saying, can't wait to see my friends at the Fall Fingerstyle Retreat in October. Yes. Our Fall Fingerstyle Retreat is coming up. It is full. We have a couple of people on the waiting list to get in, and we will, if a spot opens up, I will start going through people on the waiting list. But it is going to be great. We do have the dates already for next year, the 2027 Fall Fingerstyle Retreat, and I believe it's like the 27th through the 31st of next year, 2027. So there you go. If you're interested in joining us for the Guitar Gathering Academy, please join us. It's a lot of fun. We squeeze 4 songs into 5 weeks. We used to do it in 4 weeks, but we had people not complain, but just it's a lot of material, and they feel like they have to do it all, and so they requested a little buffer week in there, so we put a buffer week right in the middle. Well, I'm going to be out of town anyway, so that's going to be great. That's going to work out fine. But anyway, the first song comes out in 2 days, and we're all learning together, and we're all there's live Zoom sessions, and we're just kind of engulfed by these wonderful songs and in learning for the next month or so. So if you're interested in just kind of supercharging your learning by getting a whole bunch of material and lessons and new ideas, you don't have to absorb it all. There's a ton of, I'm sitting on 3 arrangements and all these soloing things, and there's all kinds of stuff. If it's of any interest to you, I would encourage you to check it out. Don't worry about your skill level. Just grab what you can from it. Thank you, Buffy. P.S. for your kind gift. Look at that happy smiling face. That's what I want to do. Give everybody a smiling face there. All right. Ann is in panic mode. Don't be in panic mode, Ann. Life is too short for panic mode. We get way too... Playing guitar is not about being the best. Let me just, as we close, making music is not about who's the best. It's not American Idol, okay? We don't make music to be the best. We make music because we were made to create. We enjoy making music. A painter doesn't paint to be the best. He paints because it's in him to paint. A sculptor doesn't. And that's what it is with us as musicians. Don't think of it that way as like, oh, well, AI is going to come take over and anything I can ever think of, somebody else has already done it. Well, you're going to comparison. I was talking to my lovely wife the other day. Comparison kills creativity. Comparison kills creativity. What this world needs is you and your voice and your music, and you need to make the music because it's in you to make it. That's why we create. We don't create just to be the best. Oh my goodness, there's someone better. Well, if that's the standard, then we would have all thrown our guitars away as soon as Phil Keaggy was born. So, hey, let me play a little bit for you. Keep up the great work in your guitar learning, and we will see you guys next time.